high school baseball. Mullins and Tommy Hall sitting here behind home plate at Old Fort Field. And we're bringing you today's matchup between Old Fort and Tiffin Calvert. That's right, we're here at Old Fort Field. We missed out on the pregame show, but folks, we'll run through the sponsors here in just a moment. But we're thankful to be here today because we didn't think we were going to have a game today, Tommy.
Yeah, Nick Palm leading off for the Senecas here. Is Miles Miller on the mound for the Stockaders.
Senecas come into today's matchup 0-2 on the season, 0-1 within the SBC River. So looking to get on the board in the win column this year. Dealing with some injuries so far.
And right down the middle.
Right up the middle. Slap back up to center field. And that's going to be good for a base hit as Nick Palm leads it off.
Well, we know the Seneca Bats can get some hits, Nate, as we noticed in that matchup against New Rigo, the Senecas dropped that one 5-4, but some early runs by the Blue Jackets was really what spelled doom for the Senecas, but late in the 7th, able to get 3 runs. Try to get back in that one as one right across the home plate. Starts us off with a strike.
Miles Miller dealing right now. He fires that one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. He looks back the runner at first. Up to bat now, Blake Coleman, number 14 for Tiffin Calvert. Miller comes set, delivers a pitch, throws it right by him for a strike. That's 0-2 now. Nobody down. Runner at first base here at Old Fort Field. Miller deals, and that's going to be a strikeout on the inside corner as he got Coleman looking there, and that's the first out of the game.
Yeah, Miller found Coleman in a hole early, forced him to take a couple swings he might not have ordinarily took.
Yeah. So up next for Tiffin Calvert, Hunter Yackel, number 10, the catcher, as Miller fires back to first base. Runner in safely.
What do you think about potentially getting rid of the leadoff in the bigs?
I don't know about that.
It's been an interesting year for baseball.
To say the least, and that's why I'm glad we're here, Tommy.
Yeah.
Where there's none of that tomfoolery and shenanigans when it comes to the rules. We're here to watch some good old-fashioned baseball. America's pastime. In the on-deck circle, first baseman Mason Johnson awaits as Miller fires that one in there.
Low and slow.
That one outside and low. 2-0 the count. Still no score here in the first inning. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall joining you live from Old Fort Field. That one's going to be hit into the air, into right field. And the right fielder tracks it down and comes up with the catch for the second out of the first inning. Out there in right field, Blake Bender patrolling the outfield.
Mason Johnson splits time at first base, third base, pitching duties. I mean, just a utility player for the Seneca squad.
Ooh. Yeah, that one hit him. So Johnson draws a free base. Now 2 on, 2 down as Garrett Spawn strolls to the plate. Never got a chance to see him with a bat in his hands, Tommy. You used to see him with a basketball. That one in there for a strike. Miller, the righty, dealing out of the stretch now. He's still in a full windup. That's a stretch. Got that one to go.
Interesting how quick
the count.
The season's changes. Just about a week or so ago, Miller and Spawn were on the basketball court in that SBC All-Star game.
That's a good point, Tommy. Spawn pops this one straight up. This one's coming right down behind the bleachers. Well, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on for, Tommy. We're going to
Especially with
stay on our
state-of-the-art
toes.
equipment here.
Luckily, we got this fence that's kind of in the way, shielding us here, but
Yeah, that's always been
yeah. Of course, Tommy and I are sitting here behind home plate. Greg's got a pretty nice camera view as he is right along the third base side.
still at the top of the first here at Old Fort Field.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Miller checks the runner at second. And that one's low and outside. 2-2 the count. It's our first game battle in the elements here, Tommy. Oh, there's a nice one from Miller. Strike 3, swinging. And Miles Miller gets out of the jam with no damage done. That's the end of the top of the first. As the Stockaders will get a chance to come up to bat. Let's take a look at some of our sponsors, and let's thank our sponsors for bringing you today's ball game here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to our pregame show sponsor, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll thank them again later in the broadcast. Also, credit them for the game time temperature as well today. We'll get to that in just a moment. Keys to the Game brought to you by Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant. And our post-game show, Stick Around, brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore, where we will announce the player of the game, brought to you by MST Sauce Company. The rest of our sponsors today, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, of course, our pregame show sponsor. Also thanks to Phillips Electric, our Call to the Bullpen sponsor, and Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., as well as Bookmeyer Printing. Thanks to all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports for bringing you this special edition of high school baseball. Now, Tommy, as this season progresses, in just the first game here and of a 12-game broadcast schedule, but as we get along, the weather's going to get a little nicer. You know.
Yeah, I think you always have these hiccups early on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As you try to jam-pack the baseball season into the school year. So you get some cold games early on, but that's part of the game here in Ohio, as you see these young men getting warmed up, and that was kind of talk about those keys to the game. That was part of the issues for Calvert Seneca's getting started this season, as we noticed in some of those losses that it was just about getting your bats hot.
That's right.
As the pitching game was tremendous. Gave up a few early runs in that game against New Riegel like we talked about. But once the Senecas were able to get a little warmed up, get loose, that was really where they started to find them rhythm. And that's all it takes for the Senecas here in the beginning part of the season is to, find that rhythm, find where your bats lie in that rotation and what they'll bring home for you.
Well, I think a lot of that, you talk about most of these guys, at least 3 of them I know for sure, were playing basketball not too long ago, Tommy. Just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this same Calvert Seneca squad in the postseason in basketball, and now here they are on the baseball diamond suiting up and ready to go. But, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of get into baseball mode. Max Paul on the mound for the Senecas. First pitch, that one's in the dirt for a ball. Up to bat first for Old Fort, Isaiah Perez. Lead off. Paul. The pitch is in there, and Perez smacks it up the middle. And a nice play by the shortstop, Palm.
Yeah, what a way to get
fires that one over for an out at the first base. I mean, that was a heck of a play by Palm there, Tommy.
That was a clean hit by Perez.
Pretty much took a hit away from him.
Of the pitcher, but shortstop made a heads-up play, flashed the lead of the first, and got the first out for the Senecas here. Ooh, that one just goes right into the ground.
Of course, it's going to take us a little bit of time to get used to baseball mode too, Tommy, as I've been chomping at the bit getting ready for this baseball season. That one fouled off to the left side. Up to bat now, Carter Dubois for Old Fort. It's going to take a little bit of time to kind of ease in, but I'll tell you, I couldn't be more happy and more excited about getting at it with baseball season because this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Now that one goes straight to the backstop over the head of the batter. 2-0 the count. I'm sorry, 2-1. One out. Here in the bottom of the first, no score between Tiffin, Calvert, and Old Fort. Max Paul on the mound. Fires it in there and throws it right by him for a strike. 2-2 the count. Dubois settles into the batter's box. Paul fires it in there, and Dubois just fights that one off to the right side to stay alive. Just kind of slapped that one out there, you know, Tommy? It's kind of one of those situations where he probably, right when he decided he wanted to swing, he decided, oh, crap, I probably shouldn't have swung. He just kind of like, oh, I'm going to stay alive. Just get a piece of that one. And Paul.
Another wild pitch by Paul.
That one goes wide to the outside.
And you got Dubois right where you want him with the count, and then that wild pitch.
3-2 count now.
Oh, he gets a piece of it.
Nice little nubbler there. And he got him.
Oh, wow.
What a throw.
What a play.
What a play by Hunter Yakel. Come up and make that one.
What about Mason Johnson at first?
Whew, with the stretch.
With the splits, basically.
Made it work. That's 2 down now for Tiffin Calvert. As Casey Klaus strolls to the plate. Paul fires that one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Still no score. And that one's driven, but foul, and see if it's going to stay in play. Yeah, it does, but unable to get there is Jackson Sizelove. And Klaus will stay alive. 0-2 the count now. 2 down, 0-2. Klaus trying to stay alive here. And that one's going to be fouled straight back. Yakel tries to make a play on it, but unable to come up with it. Nice attempt, though, Tommy. He gave everything he had for that one.
Yeah, see the divot right there behind home plate where Yakel went for it. Field conditions decent enough, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like we talked about. Mother Nature wasn't getting the best of this one today.
It's good enough to play. Another foul. Yakel goes to make a play on it and unable to make it once again as that one just short. Was Hunter Yakel. I mean, he was just short, Tommy. I thought he had that one. Now, folks, we did have a scoreboard loaded and ready for the game, and I thought it'd be good to go, but it just didn't want to work when we got here for whatever reason. It said, nope, I'm not working. So we'll try to keep you up to date on all the score, strikes, and balls, and all that good stuff. Nobody on. 2 down. Klaus, that one stays fair. And he's going to beat it out. And he's going for 2. Klaus digs it out.
First, a Coleman.
And Casey Klaus
to keep going.
Pressing for third, but he decides to stay with a double. That's a single. It'll probably be ruled an error. I'll probably give him a single and an error because he definitely beat it out.
Yeah. Klaus trying to create another one in between third and second there for the shortstop to make a mistake.
Yeah.
What a gutsy play.
Paul once again. That one low and outside. That one skips in there.
I'm not sure how wise the pink cleats are in the peripheral of the pitcher on the mound when you're looking to lead off. Oh, look
that
at
one
that one.
slapped right up right side, and that's good for a base hit. Klaus is coming home to score, and Miles Miller, the pitcher, knocks in Klaus.
Yanko will get him at second,
They'll
I believe.
score the run, but Miller is going to be out at second, trying to stretch that one to a double. So they get one on the board, but that's the end of the first inning as Old Fort takes a 1-0 lead into the second. Folks, First National Bank of Sycamore is uniquely rooted in our communities, proudly serving their customers since 1919. They have locations in Sycamore, Tiffin, New Riegel, and McCutcheonsville. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. One nothing your score, getting ready to start the top of the second inning. Once again, Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall here on the call. Due up next for Tiffin Calvert, I believe Dylan Stevens is up next. Yep, right fielder, number 3. Due up for Tiffin Calvert. As Miles Miller was able to get out of a jam in the first. He had 2 on with 2 down at first and second. But he was able to get out of it and limit the damage to no runs. Once again, folks, thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink, and Bookmeyer Printing. All proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And, folks, if you hear one of those names and you want to be mentioned on that list, shoot us an email, hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com, and we'll get a hold of you. We'd love to have you on board as a partner. You're in the pulse of the Buckeye State. Dylan Stevens set to lead off for Tiffin Calvert here. We start the top of the second. And that one just a little bit low. 1-0 is the count. Miller.
Ooh.
That one's in there. Inside, I mean. Brushed him back there as Stevens was crowding the plate a little bit. Miller says, hey, give me a little bit more room there. Stevens slapped that one back up the middle, but there to make the play is the second baseman.
That infield, that heads-up awareness by the Old Fort Stockaders. Again, you might get some runners on the bag, but once they start getting in rotation and starting to field about, man, they can make some quick plays.
Connor Ernsberger there to make the play for the Stockaders. Max Paul up now for Tiffin Calvert, the pitcher, on to face his counterpart. Miller brushes it back.
Miller likes to get it inside, as you see a lot of grounders going between the bags.
When you deal with a righty-on-righty matchup, a lot of times those right-handed pitchers, they want to keep that ball inside because you get it outside, you allow him to extend.
Yep.
If you want to keep it outside, you want it way outside, so that way he's not going to be able to make contact, or he's got to flail out there to try to just slap it.
That, and he can't get under it.
Yep. If he does get under it, it's going straight up.
Yep.
Right up the elevator shaft.
Lowest part of the bat.
There's another one inside, and this one's 3-1 now. 3-1 the count on Max Paul. 1 out. 1-0 the score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. Miller fires it in there for a strike. And now it's a full count. I think Paul was taken all the way there. There's a pitch from Miller. That one's outside, and Max Paul draws the walk. So a runner on first with one out. Harry Schultz strolls to the plate. The southpaw steps into the batter's box on the right side this time. And that one's in there for a strike. He fired that one in there. Miller starting to settle in now. That was just a bit outside. 1-1 the count. Runner on first. That's Max Paul down there at first base. One down. Miller's pitch, high and outside. 2-1 the count. Schultz, the sophomore. Three-sport athlete, Tommy. Max Paul able to dive back just in time to make it back. Miller's pitch, that one's fouled back. 2-2 the count. I'm pretty sure I know that umpire. Went to school with him, I think. Miller's pitch in the dirt. Now it's a full count. So he had a 1-2 count. Now it's full count. Schultz staying alive here. And once again, staying alive as he fouls this one off to the left. Schultz steps into the box. Miller gets set, looks to runner back. And that one fouled straight back. Still full count. It's a 7-pitch at bat here, Tommy.
Yeah.
That's how you work your pitch count here. Great at bat here by Harrison Schultz. Is it Harry or Harry? I'm pretty sure he probably likes Harry.
I forget he was saying what he preferred to be called earlier in the season.
That one right back up the middle. Miles going to second.
Oh.
And he only got one as Miller tried to turn the double play. The shortstop, Casey Klaus, just unable to field that one cleanly to try to get that second out. So still,
you gotta have awareness of where the runners are when you're out there playing the infield. As again, just Klaus wasn't ready for that play to second.
oh, that one.
You danged if you do, danged if you don't on that one.
Miller throws it right by him. And Sizlove swinging away on that one. I think we're just a little bit outside there. Sizlove slaps that one down the right side. This one's going to go foul. Just out of the reach of Carter Cleveland as he tried to track it down. Oh, 2 the count, 2 down. 1-0 the score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert here in the top of the second. Miller fires it over to first. Runner's in safe. Love high school baseball. We need a crowd mic. There's a lot of good action going on at these games. That one's fouled straight back.
I don't know if you remember the type of sport you're watching here, Nate, and the parents that go along with it. So a crowd mic may not be the
I don't know how FCC regulations work on stream, Tommy, to be honest.
may have a few bat dads out there.
There's a nice pitch by Miller as he ties him up on the inside, and a strike 3 called to end the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Old Fort due up. 1-0 your score. Stockaders over the Senecas. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union has been part of the community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative and are delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured, NCUA. Got some new title sponsors this year, as we have the first pitch sponsor, the game time temperature, which was right around 50 degrees as we started this one. $53 degrees right around when we started.
You know, a little bit of that wind.
Of course, Old Fort's only played one game so far. Isaac Snyder had a 7-inning shutout in that one. He's a hurler, Tommy. You want to see somebody throw, I mean, he can pitch. He's got a weird, like the submarine style motion where he brings his arm down. He's got that weird arm angle. It's so confusing trying to pick that ball up.
I was going to say, it makes it hard to pick up what kind of throw he's going to be hurling towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Leading off for Old Fort, number 1, Connor Ernsberger.
Leading off for Old Fort, number 1, Connor Ernsberger.
What happened to the buzz ballads for the walk-up music?
Yeah.
I don't know what this stuff is now.
Yeah, these kids, they pick out their own stuff, you know? They probably each have their own. Oh, nice hit right up the left side for Ernsberger as he puts that one into left field for a base hit.
Now batting for Old Fort, number 4, Isaac Snyder.
Now Isaac Snyder due up for Old Fort, as we mentioned. He was a pitcher of record in their first game as they are 1-0 on the season, Tommy. Tonight, his first start ever in left field, according to Dad. Talked with Papa Russell Snyder before the game a little bit. Beaming with pride, I'll tell you that. That one fired in there for a strike.
Made the split decision and cost him there.
0-1 the count. Runner on first. No outs here in the bottom of the second. 1-0. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert.
Ooh.
That one high and inside as Paul works the hitter back. Create a little bit more room here. Here comes the 1-1. And that one's in there. 1-2 the count.
Snyder's backed himself into a corner now.
Runner on first. 1-2 the count. No down. Paul fires it back to first, and the runner's back safely. Here in the bottom of the second, 1-0 Old Fort as Isaac Snyder at the plate. Paul's pitch outside. That one goes all the way to the backstop. Yackel able to track it down, but the runner advances to second base. Snyder at the plate, Ernsberger down at second. Snyder slaps that one to the shortstop. Fires it over to the right side, and they're going to say he was off the bag, so safe is the call.
And now you got runners
Snyder
on the
beats
corners.
it out. Runners on the corners, nobody down. And now you got Blake Bender strolling to the plate.
Having a little discussion.
Now, with nobody out here, Tommy, would this be an instance of maybe they might try to maybe a sacrifice bunt here just to get maybe a sac fly maybe? Oh, now they're going to talk it over, and they decided the runner was out. So after further discussion,
well, that
call is reversed. So
that
one out.
bails the Senecas out as we had runners
Really
at the corner,
does.
and like you talked about, Nate, no outs. You have the option to do that sacrificial bunt, get a guy in. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with it.
Paul fires that one in there for a strike. Might have been a little bit outside, but Max Paul out of the stretch.
Oh,
that one's driven deep to the left fielder. Makes the play. Runner tags.
Get him at home.
The play's at the plate, and it's going to be safe.
Yackel unable to.
Connor Ernsberger beats the throw. Nice relay there from the left field to the third baseman there, but just unable to make that play. So 2-0 your score. On the sacrifice fly there, Tommy. But now, instead of having a runner still on, now you got nobody on. But you did get the run home. 2-0. Old Fort leads. Now 2 down. As Carter Cleveland takes the batter's box and takes the first pitch strike. Second pitch is high. 1-1 the count. Cleveland swings through the pitch. And now 1-2 the count. And that one is in there for a strike. 3 called. A nice little break action on that one, Tommy, as it started out about eye level and then dropped right in the bucket. That's the end of the second inning. Your score, Old Fort 2, Senecas nothing. Take a moment to thank our sponsors for bringing you today's action here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Carre Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing.
Off for Calvert, number 7, Nick Paul.
And now here we are getting set to start the third inning. Top of the third. That first pitch inside for a ball. Nick Palm up at the plate for Tiffin Calvert. 2-0 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin. You're in the top of the third. That one straight back to the pitcher as Miller's just going to underhand it to the first baseman. And that's going to do it for the first out of the ball game.
Right into the pitcher's glove. Coleman crowding the plate.
One down, 1-0 the count as Miller deals that one in there for a strike, throws it right by him. Miller is really dealing right now, Tommy. Got into a little bit of a jam in the first, but made short work at the second inning. And here he is in the third, once again dealing. Falling a little bit behind in this one, 2-1 the count. Oh, that one's straight back to the backstop.
Yeah, it clipped him a little bit. No? Yep, they'll give him the base.
That's going to do it. That must have just got enough of him.
And a strong pitch inside by Miller. They saw Coleman kind of crowded and getting over the plate, so no surprise by the outcome there.
Yeah.
They have another discussion here.
Well, you can't have the ump at second base overrule the the home plate umpire here because, well, I mean, he obviously had a better look at it. But who knows? The call remains. One out, runner on first. Miles Miller looks the runner back. Now comes Set, dealing out of the stretch. Now fires back to first. The runner's in safely. Miller fires it in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. That one just a bit to the left outside. 1-1 the count. One down. One runner on first. Hunter Yackel at the plate. Taking on that one. Now 2-1 the count. Runner goes, fires it down to second, and he's in there safely. Blake Coleman able to beat out the throw for the steal. Now they have a runner in scoring position with one down. Hunter Yackel at the plate looking to capitalize here. 2-2 the count, one down. Coleman takes the lead. That one in the dirt. Coleman just going to stay at second. 3-2 the count. Miller fires it in there. This one's fouled straight back. Right up the elevator shaft. And the catcher comes up with it for the second out. Carter Dubois able to come up with the catch. I mean, that was skied straight up. I didn't know where it was going to go. Miller's pitch is in there for a strike. Mason Johnson up to the plate. Runner on second. Johnson's got a little bit more of a strike zone as he's a taller frame. Miller fires that one in there for another strike. 0-2 the count. He's playing with his eye angle now. I expect this next one to be in the dirt. Nope. And Johnson nails this one out to the right fielder. And it's right to the right fielder for the third out of the inning. So that's the end of the top of the third. Old Fort leading 2-0 over Tiffin Calvert. Able to get a man on, got him to second, but unable to get him home. As the Senecas squander a scoring opportunity with one man out. Once again, make sure you stick around for the postgame show brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore, our friends at Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and First National Bank of Sycamore. Both have agreed to sign on as legacy sponsors here with Heart of Ohio Sports. We're very excited about having them on board with us through not only baseball season, but also football and basketball over the next year. So we are committed to the next 3 sports seasons. And it's great to have community-minded sponsors like Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and First National Bank of Sycamore to be on board with us as we're set and getting ready to bring you the best quality production that we can here in this area. We do what we can with what we've got, but the more we get investments, the more we get, community-minded sponsors to invest with us, the more we can bring you, the better the quality gets. So if you're a business owner out there and you're listening to this game, you're watching this game, and it's one of your sons out here playing, it's one of your kids out here playing, and you want to help support this because, hey, it's the first time anybody in this area has even tried to cover baseball. Hey, we'd love to have you on board. We've got plenty of room on the bandwagon, and this is a great time to get on board because it's just going to get better from here. As we start the bottom of the second, leading off for Old Fort, number 22, Ben Kupka.
Bottom of the third.
Sorry, bottom of the third. Kupka dribbles that one up the middle, and that's going to be handled by the shortstop. Fires it over first for the out. Nice play there by Nick Palm. He didn't wait back on that one, Tommy. He came up and charged it. Came up and made the play.
That's the way you flash the leather.
Max Paul still on the mound for the Senecas. His third inning of work. That one's in there for a strike. This cold weather, it's harder on pitchers than it is on hitters. I mean, you get the bat on the ball, it's going to go. It just might not go as far as for a batter. But with the pitcher, you got a lot of texture things you're dealing with this cold weather. It just doesn't. The ball doesn't feel the same. It does feel a little heavier when it's colder, especially when you're dealing with humidity like Ohio. And that one fouled back. 1-2 the count. It just makes it a little bit more difficult on a pitcher than it does on a hitter. Not trying to take anything away from any of these hitters, but I would not like to be a pitcher in 40-degree weather in Ohio.
Ooh.
That one inside. Paul trying to work him inside. As Perez crowding the plate now. Slaps that one up the middle. Handled by the shortstop, and Palm fires it over for the second out. second play in a row there made by Nick Palm, and he is, I'll tell you what, Tommy, he's fun to watch. Flash in the leather is that's
it's
definitely a great way to describe what he's doing out there.
It's a long way to first when you
For sure.
when you got a shortstop that's able to make those type of plays.
Carter
Wow.
Dubois takes that one outside.
I see what you mean there about that texture and about the elements. There's you saw that one kind of come late out of Max Paul's hand. Once again, same thing there.
If they want to get a little break, like he's working righty on righty, so he's probably trying to work that slider to the outside. You want to get that break on it, but it's just so hard to get the break when you can't get the right grip on the ball. It's so cold. Really, the only thing that can work for you in this kind of weather is your fastball and maybe the curve because of the break that comes downward as opposed to outward.
Time Paul kind of set it up there.
Dubois gets a hold of that one. Spawn coming on to make the play, and he's able to make it in left field for the third out. And that's the end of the third inning. Score 2-0, Old Fort. You're watching high school baseball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports as we're set to start the fourth inning of action. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert 2-0. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall here on the call. We got Greg Kinn manning the camera. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors. Thanks to MSD Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, Phillips Electric, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphics, and Bookmeyer Printing. Got to update that sponsor list there, Tommy. Well, we didn't really get a chance to talk about this, but I do want to touch on the keys to the game here. As I look at it, as this one kind of plays its way out here, Tommy, I think the keys for today, you really got to try to get the ball on the bat or get the bat on the ball. That's really, you got to try to make contact any way you can. I mean, with a pitcher like Miles Miller on the mound and like Max Paul, they're both out here dealing today. So you've got to find a way to make contact. As a hitter, you can't be thinking trying to hit a home run. You can't be thinking trying to hit a double. You just try to make contact. And I think that's what you're seeing out here, especially from Old Fort. They're taking what the pitcher's giving them. It's a lot of, like, you're not seeing a lot of long drives. You're not seeing a lot of uppercut swings. You're seeing these guys, they're just slapping it back up the middle, slapping it back to the shortstop, slapping it into left field, you know. They're taking what is there, and that's what it is. I mean, for me, the key today, with this kind of weather and this kind of conditions, just make contact. Don't worry about trying to hit the ball far.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of balls that are going to break.
Yeah.
Especially at this part of the season and this type of weather.
Still dealing with some. There we are. Hey.
I'm not Nate Mullins.
We're getting ready to start the top of the fourth inning. Tiffin Calvert due up to bat. Garrett Spawn leading off the top of the fourth. Miles Miller starting his fourth inning of work. Wow. Spawn slaps that one to the right fielder, and that one's right to the right fielder for the first out. One pitch, one out. If you're Miles Miller, that's just how you drew it up.
Ooh.
Dylan Stevens up now.
Goes into the ground there.
Miller. That one's low. 2-0 the count.
Now you can be a little more mindful of the pitch.
And he throws it right by him there. Stevens. Swings right over the top of that one. 2 on the count.
Well, there was your freebie.
Yeah, right. Everybody gets 1. And Stevens makes contact and puts that one into the outfield for a base hit. Dylan Stevens with a 1-out base hit.
Stevens, the one pitch he swung at, he went ahead and just swung at the same one that was thrown to him by Miller again.
Yep.
I mean, that didn't change it up one bit there. Challenged the batter and
Max Paul takes a first pitch strike.
talk about challenging the batter.
Yeah.
Heater right down the middle.
Miller out of the stretch. Fires it in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. 2-0 the score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. Seneca's with a man on first. Max Paul facing an 0-2 count. The pitch. High and outside. 1-2. Miller out of the stretch. Brings that one inside.
I got full count.
2-2 the count.
I know.
That one high and inside. 3-2 the count. So he went from 0-2 to 3-2. Max Paul with a good eye here, able to work himself back into a advantageous situation.
Big pitch coming up.
Paul. That
Go
was
back
right
at
to
first.
the right to the shortstop, and that's 2 outs as they turn the double play. As the runner was doubled up, as he broke for second on the hit. That's the end of the top of the 4th. Tiffin Calvert once again with a runner on. I think that's their 3rd man left stranded here.
Short
in just
work
the
by
first
the
4
Old Fort
innings.
Stockaders there in that
Yeah.
inning or that time as well.
And Miller, I think you're seeing him. He's really not. He's not a strikeout pitcher, Tommy. He's not out here trying to strike guys out. And especially on a day like today, he knows. Like my key to the game was contact. Try to get contact on the ball. Well, if you're a pitcher today, pitch to contact, but just don't pitch it where they can hit it far. Put it on the ground. Put it down. And I think that's what Miller's doing a lot of times. If he throws a pitch high, it's too high. A guy's not even going to swing at it. But if he's throwing it low, it's almost too low where they can't even get the bat on it. And that's what you want to do. If you do end up getting your bat on it when it's that low, it's just going in the dirt. It's not going anywhere.
That's a good point, Nate.
As we get set for the bottom of the 4th, Old Fort leads 2-0. And number 5, Casey Klaus, strolls to the plate. Boy, Russ wasn't kidding when he said, don't forget your hand warmers. That April weather. Is this lousy Smarch weather?
Off road for number 5, Casey Klaus.
Casey Klaus set to lead off for the Stockaders. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall here on the call. Greg Kinn manning the cameras. Klaus fouls this one off to the right side. Yakel tries to make a play on it, but this one's just out of play.
Wasn't this the same show we were previewed to earlier between Yackel and Klaus.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That just tells you that Klaus, he can get a piece of it at any time.
Paul fires it in there. Klaus
Got a little more than a piece of
clobbers it all the way to the right field fence. This one hits the fence, and Klaus is in there with a leadoff double. That was a nice stroke there by Klaus as he put that one over the right fielder. And now the Stockaders with a leadoff man on second. Nobody out. And the cleanup hitter, the pitcher, Miles Miller, coming to bat. I can't tell if those are baseball pants or if he stole my sweatpants. Either way, I want them. They're pretty cool.
When I was in D-League, sweatpants was all I could, all I could muster.
2-0 the count. Miller making him earn it. Paul throws it right by him there. 2-1 the count. Max Paul looks back the runner at second. Out of the stretch. This one fouled straight back.
Right towards Greggy's car.
2-2 the count now. Bottom of the fourth. 2-0 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. They throw back to second. Runners back safely. The 2-2 outside. Full count. Three-two count, nobody out. Max Paul comes set, deals. And that one's going to be outside. So a walk drawn by Miller puts runners at first and second for Connor Ernsberger. Still nobody out. Man on first and second. Paul out of the stretch. Fires that one in there for a strike. Max Paul fires it in there. That one's bunted, but foul. So 0-2 the count.
Yeah, you watched him try to do that sacrifice just a moment ago as well.
He's not going to be able to try to sack that one now. He's got two strikes. He's going to have to barrel it up. Oh, and Paul throws it right by him for a strike three. And that brings Isaac Snyder to the plate. One out. Man on first and second. Snyder strolls to the plate. Looking to play hero. That one's going to be a strike.
Oh.
Pretty.
Another one.
Another strike. Catcher throws down to second. The runner able to beat it back, but nice throw down there by Hunter Yackel, man.
Yeah.
He snapped up and threw that one down. 0-2 the count. One down. Paul comes set. The 0-2. Snyder slaps it right side, right through the first and second baseman. And that's going to be an RBI as Klaus scores. And Isaac Snyder on a 1-2 pitch slaps that one right into right field and drives a run home. Put the Stockaders up 3-0. One out. Bottom of the fourth. This one's fouled back. Hits the cart path. Baseballs don't bounce as far as footballs, or as far as golf balls do when they hit the golf path. Paul's pitch. Up high for a ball. 1-1 the count. One down. Runner on first and second. That one's in there for a strike. 1-2. And that one got a piece of it. And they're able to make the play at first for the second out. But that does advance the runners to second and third. So a runner on second and third, 2 outs. Carter Cleveland strolls to the plate for the Stockaders. Paul throws it right by him for a first pitch strike. Max Paul deals that one to the outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. That one's in there for a strike. Ugh, excuse me. 1-2 the count. 2 down. Max Paul trying to get out of this with just 1 run damage here. That one dribbled back up the middle. Third baseman trying to make a play, and he does make the play at first base. So just the 1 run will score. It's 3-0 Old Fort as we head to the top of the 5th. I do want to take a moment to thank our pregame show sponsor, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Of course, today was special circumstances as we tried our best to get here before the pregame was supposed to start, but, you know, things happen. And we made it, and we got the game on right after the first pitch. I think it was the second pitch of the game that we broadcasted, so didn't do too bad. Time constraints are going to be hard with baseball because these 5 o'clock starts for all these games, you know, we're going to be pushing up against it. So, but we really want to thank Your Legacy Federal Credit Union for their contributions, bringing us the game time temperature tonight. It's 53 degrees when we started this one. It's got to be colder than that by now, but maybe I'm just a wuss. Nope, still same. I'm just a wuss.
You also haven't been pitching for 5 innings.
That's true. That's true. Miller brings his shutout into the 5th inning. I think he's only allowed a few hits. I don't have my stat sheet in front of me, but that's something I used to love doing at baseball games, keeping stats. Maybe I should start doing that. Maybe I'll start doing that at games where I can feel my fingers. Once again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors here today. MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Curry Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing. Top of the 5th, Miles Miller comes set and fires it in there for a first pitch ball. This one's just a little bit inside. Harry Schultz up to bat for Tiffin Calvert. Schultz takes second pitch. That one's high. 2-0 the count. Schultz pops that one up to the third baseman, and he didn't even have to move for that one for the first out. Isaiah Perez there to make the play. Miller, first pitch, high for a ball. 3-0 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. 1 down here in the 5th inning, top of the 5th. Seneca's up to bat. Jackson Sizlove, the batter. Sizlove, the third baseman. Number 11. Didn't he wear that in all 3 sports, Tommy?
I think so.
Pretty sure it was his football number and his basketball number. Two and 1 the count. Is Miller able to get that one to go in? Sizlove slaps that one back up the middle, but right to the center fielder, who's there to make the play. Ben Kupka.
You talk about just getting contact. I mean, that's kind of playing to the detriment of the Senecas now, as you got to strategize. You just can't be popping flies out there and hoping you're going to get guys on base with that.
They had an aggressive strategy to start, but now they've taken more of a wait-and-see approach, and I think that's playing right into the pitcher's hands. Oh and 1. Here's the 0. That one's into the left field for a base hit. Palm smacks that one, and he's going to go for 2. He's going to dig that one out for a stand-up double. A 2-out double for Nick Palm. Brings Blake Coleman up to the plate. That one slap to the left side. Coleman trying to beat it out, and he does. He beats it out, and that's going to score a run. Blake Coleman puts enough wood on it, Tommy, where it made the shortstop rush the throw.
I was going to say, yep. Had nobody at third to toss it to. Decided to make the play at first, just unable to get there. Throws a wild one over the head Allows Seneca to finally get runner in.
And that's why whenever you get contact, you just got to take off running. His hustle is really what made the shortstop rush that throw, because he's probably looked down at the runner and said, oh, crap, I got to get this out of here.
Yep, absolutely.
That first pitch is in there for a strike. Hunter Yackel up to bat now for Tiffin Calvert. 3-1 your score. Seneca's with a 2-out run scoring. I want to call it a single, but I think he beat it out. That would have been a single. Yackel swings through the second pitch. That's a strike. So 0-2 the count, 2 down. And Yackel swings through. And that's the end of the top of the fifth. 3-1 your score. Tiffin Calvert able to scratch across the run thanks to the Blake Coleman single. Bottom of the fourth coming up. As I believe Ben Kupka is due up to bat for Old Fort. Maybe if I stand up, I won't be so cold. Our little battery pack's holding up pretty good. I figured maybe since it was colder, it might drain a little bit more juice, but I'll tell you, we are completely mobile for this setup here, folks. I'm like really surprised. We have no wires going anywhere other than into our equipment. I've got a mobile battery pack unit that provides us with about 8 hours worth of battery life. We got a mobile 5G hotspot courtesy of Tiffin AT&T. So we're mobile. I mean, we can literally set up anywhere. Like I said during the SBC All-Star game, hey, you want me to set up in the backyard and call your kid's wiffle ball game for his birthday party? Hey, we're mobile. We can do it. We can make it happen. For the right price, that is. Gotta love the atmosphere here at these high school baseball games. It's a little bit more laid back.
A little fifth inning stretch.
Yeah. Ben Kupka up to bat now. Bottom of the fifth. 3-1 the score. Old Fort leading. Kupka drills that one right back up the middle. Coleman unable to make the play. And Yackel there to back it up.
Batting number 16, Isaiah Perez.
And Isaiah Perez up to bat now. Kupka was going to beat that out either way. And here's Perez. Nobody out, man on first. 3-1 score. That one high. Max Paul, last inning, able to get out of a jam. And Perez up the middle. They got one. Trying for two, and that one's not going to be in time. Perez with the hustle beats out the throw.
Batting number 12, Carter Dubois.
So they cut down the lead runner, but Isaiah Perez able to beat it out. So just one down here as Carter Dubois strolls to the plate. Max Paul from the stretch. Just a little bit outside there with that one. This Friday, we're live from Tiffin Columbian Field. So we'll bring you Tornadoes baseball action. Tornadoes taking on the Flyers this Friday. Our schedule says 4:45, but that's just so they get here on time. Most likely a 5 o'clock start this Friday. Once again, Tiffin, Columbian, and Clyde coming to you live here on Heart of Ohio Sports this Friday. Right here, a 1-1 count. Dubois slaps this one down the right side. That was just foul. Oh, man, that was just a couple feet from being trouble. One and two the count. One out. 3-1 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. Paul with the pitch. Dubois smacks it into the center field. And right to the center fielder. They fire it back in to keep the runner at first. 2 down.
Batting number 5, Casey Klaus.
Casey Klaus coming up to bat now.
This is when you get into this part of the rotation where things start to get a little more hectic. You start getting a lot more smarter at-bats, if you will.
Well, you've had a couple looks at the pitcher now. This is your third look at the same pitcher. So now you know what he's dealing. You know what you're looking for now. You're going up there and you got an idea. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is my pitch that I want. And if it's there, they're going to swing away. Paul comes set, fires to first. Runner in safely. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. 2 down. You're in the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall here on the call. Here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Paul fires it in there. That one's fouled to the left. Klaus stays alive. 1-2 the count.
Oh, now the sun decides to show its face.
Now that it's about to go down. That's how it works in Ohio. Did you enjoy it for the 5 seconds it was out? The 1-2. He slaps it right up the middle. And they fire it to first for the 3rd out. And that's the end of the 5th. 3-1 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. As we get ready to start the 6th inning of action here at Old Fort Field. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports for this special presentation of high school baseball. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you this high school baseball game right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Corate Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing. I stopped in and talked with Katina Steinmetz this past Friday, and she was telling me about, well, lately, times have been tough. It's tough for everybody out there, but things got a little tough for her recently because, well, somebody hacked into her stuff on social media and basically told Google, Facebook, and all of the internet sources that she was temporarily closed, even though she was open for business. She'd been sitting there wondering why. She said for about 3 weeks, there was hardly anybody coming in. Normal customers, but not any out-of-the-ordinary customers like usual. Come to find out, someone had changed her business settings to temporarily close. So I just want to put the word out, folks, that for Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., that's going to be your first destination if you're going to look for anything sports-related. Folks, I'm telling you, you want to get something custom-made, go see Katina. You want to get yourself a custom T-shirt because your boy's playing, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, whatever it may be, She does custom work. She does all kinds of logo work. She does graphic design, banners, anything that you can think of when it comes to graphic design. She even does vinyl wraps for cars. I mean, anything that your heart desires, she'll get you taken care of. Go see Katina at Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink. Set to start the top of the 6th here. 3-1 your score. Old Fort leading Tiffin Calvert. First pitch in there for a strike. Miller in for his 6th inning of work here. And he's really dealing. That one outside. Of course, the last inning, they did get that one run across, but I don't think it was really his fault, Tommy. He was pitching. He was pitching a really good ball game so far. Johnson drills this one to right field. This one's going to hit the fence. Johnson all the way to second base with a leadoff double. Mason Johnson put some muscle into that one and planted it into the right field fence. Looks like we might have a substitution here. We got a. Oh, hey. Speaking of MST, there's one of my coworkers, Jamison Godfrey, standing there at second base. Comes in as a pinch runner for Mason Johnson. Now Godfrey leads off from second. Oh, wow. That one was. I mean, if you're going to call him high, that's fine. Stay consistent with it. But that was 0-1 the count. Looked like the same pitch to me, Tommy. 1-1 the count. Miller. That one in the dirt. 2-1. Garrett Spawn at the plate, looking to capitalize here. Oh, Spawn swung right over top of that one. Now a 2-2 count. And he swung through that one. Strike 3 as Miller with another K. That was pretty. Fell behind 2-1, but came back with 2 straight outside pitches. And Spawn swung right over him. Another swing and a miss as Miller is dealing right now. Dylan Stevens. That one outside. 1-1 the count. That's a unique stance, Tommy. That one in there. 1-2 the count. You notice how his left foot is actually pointing in. And he's got that back heel off the ground there, Tommy. The lead foot actually off the ground and pointed towards the back foot. And he's just able to slap that one off to the right side to stay alive. 1-2 the count. Of course, with today, it's all about launch angle. When I was a kid, they said just act like you're swinging across the table. You know, set the table. Ooh, ooh. Got him looking there. Stevens didn't like the call, but Max Paul strolls to the plate now. 2 straight strikeouts after a leadoff double for Miles Miller. And I mean to tell you, Tommy, he settled in just fine. He works better out of the stretch, I feel like. That full windup gives the hitters a little bit more time to identify that ball coming out of his hands. But when he's coming out of the stretch, it just fires in there so fast. Guys, they have a hard time picking it up, especially with those outside pitches. You watch the break on that, it's just hard to pick it up. That one high and inside. Now he's playing with eye angles now. He's playing with the eye angle of the batter. This next one most likely is going to be
in the dirt,
outside or in the dirt. That's outside and high. And he's still keeping his eye up. Setting him up for this next one. 3-0 count, 2 down. Here's Miller from the stretch. And he fires it. No, he fakes the throw back to second. Miller from the stretch. Here's the 3-0.
Oh,
that one's in there for a strike. The 3-1. Paul swings right through it. Now full count.
Brought that one back inside.
That's right.
Paul fell for it.
That's right.
Full count.
Nice eye by Paul as he watched that one. Miller wasn't going to give him that one. He definitely wasn't going to give him an easy one to hit. He said, if you want that one, you're going to have to go get it. And we're going to have a pinch runner here, pinch hitter, actually. As in for Harry Schultz, you're going to have Reed Warnament coming in. Conversation on the mound here, as I believe Isaac Snyder is going to take over here as the pitcher. Yes, so pitching substitution as the call to the bullpen is made, brought to you by Phillips Electric. Isaac Snyder comes in, tries to hit me with his first pitch. Now watch the action off his arm, Tommy. These are just warm-ups, too. How hard is that to pick up? The leg kick, all that flailing. I mean, and he's just all arms and legs, too.
I was just about to say.
Look at that. Just all that motion going on. Where's the ball? Man. You can't pick it up until it's already out of his hand. Yeah. So Snyder coming in to close this one out and keep it a 2-run ball game. Of course, Miller, he's thrown a heck of a ball game to this point. We're going to have a double switch here as I believe the third baseman's going to go to left field, and Miller's going to go to third base as Snyder comes in from left field. Gotta love those double switches, Tommy. That's baseball.
Now pitching for number 4, Isaac Snyder.
Here we go, a little change of pace. Try to finish this one out.
Runner on first, runner on second, 2 down. Reed Warnament at the plate. Warnament able to hit that one. And they're going to say safe at the bag. Snyder was able to make it to the bag, but I'm not sure if the ball made it there in time. Umpire was right on top of the play. He got a pretty good look at it. Old Fort coach is going to come over and make sure.
I thought he had it in his hand when he tagged up.
That's what I thought. It looked like he was
It
there.
looked like it came to him. The ball wasn't on.
But I think what they're saying is he didn't have control
right.
of the ball when he was there. He definitely had it. The ball was there. It's just I don't think he had his hand on the ball. Not positive, though. That's one we'll have to go back and take a look at. We're working on our replay technology, folks, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can bring that element into the broadcast. But as for right now, I just don't know enough about it, and I'm not comfortable doing it yet, so we'll get there. Jackson Sizlove comes up to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Snyder fires it in there. Sizlove slaps it in between the first and second baseman. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. It's a tie ball game in the 6th inning. Sizlove with a huge 2-out base hit. Drives home 2 runs and ties the ball game at 3.
And this is normally where Calvert's been finding a lot of their runs and at-bats late in games. Little personnel change.
Whew, the motion on that. I mean, that pitch went from outside to inside. Snyder's pitch. That one's in there for a strike. So both those runs scored will be credited to Miles Miller. As these 2 runners now.
That's the only thing with Snyder is some of those, if you lose just a half, even a millisecond off, it completely throws off that trajectory.
And another ball. This one's 3-1 the count. Tied at 3. 2 outs. 3-1 the count.
And like I said, you put Snyder in for 3 innings with that type of release, he finds it.
And Palm watches that one go by for a ball 4 and loads the bases back up for Blake Coleman. Seneca's still looking for their first win of the season here. 0-2 on the season, 0-1 in the River. That pitch inside. Snyder trying to having a hard time finding the strike zone here as he's coming out of left field. There's one. Fires that one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. 2 down.
And they've had 2 down for a while.
Yes.
Now. It's just the 0-4 do anything to get out of the top of this inning.
The 1-1 is in there for a strike.
Here's
1-2 the count. And that one outside. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded. 2-2 the count. 2 down. Tied at 3. Here in the top of the 6th. That one's in there for a strike, and Snyder able to get out of the jam.
Yeah.
With just 2 runs of damage. Still not happy with himself after that, but limiting the damage to just those 2 runs keeps it a tie ball game at 3-3. We head to the bottom of the 6th.
But hey, the Senecas, they're right back in this
That's
one
right.
now.
It's a ball game. It's been an exciting start to the baseball season here on Heart of Ohio Sports, as we got a tie ball game heading into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Old Fort Field. Max Paul still on the mound for Tiffin Calvert, as we had a substitution earlier with Miles Miller coming out and Isaac Snyder coming in for Old Fort. Tommy, I feel like we should do a draft party. We used to do one back in the day, and I liked it a lot better when it was just a little bit more, or a little bit less formal. You know what I mean? Just you, me, and Greggy in the studio watching the draft, ordering some pizza, talking about the draft picks. That'd be fun. Let's do that.
Definitely can. As again, there's a lot that's been going on just in the changes that we've had since launching Heart of Ohio Sports back again.
Leading off for Old Fort, number 10, Miles Miller.
Well, as luck would have it, we don't even have any games scheduled that weekend, so. Paul fires that one in there for first pitched ball. Low and outside. Miles Miller at the plate. Ooh. One and one the count. Tie ball game. 3-3 the score here in the bottom of the 6th. Max Paul delivers to Miller. Miller slaps it up the middle. And a nice play once again by Nick Palm. I'll tell you, man, he's making some fancy plays out there at shortstop. If you're going to hit it over there, there's a good chance it's probably not going to get through.
Might want to send that between first and second.
Whack. First pitch in there for a strike. Was that a schwack?
Yeah, is there anything that sounds better than the ball just
slapping the leather?
Slapping the leather, slapping the mitt.
Whew.
Especially when you burn one down like that, man.
1-1 the count. 1 down. Connor Ernsberger hits a little nibbler down the left field line. Goes foul.
Seems these 40-50 pitch games may be lending themselves well to Max Paul.
That one's going to go in the dirt. 2-2 the count. One down. Here comes the 2-2. He throws it right by him for a strikeout. And Paul, after surrendering those 3 early runs, has really settled in these last couple innings.
That's what I was saying right there, mowing down 2 to start here after Seneca bats. Get them back in the game. 3-all here at the bottom of the 6th.
2 down as Isaac Snyder comes up to plate.
Ooh, I guess they clean.
Fired it right in there for a strike. Snyder gets his bat on that one, but second baseman right there to make the play as Coleman fires over to first and gets Snyder out. And that's the final out of the 6th inning. We head to the 7th, tied at 3 here at Old Fort Field. Folks, I just want to remind you of our sponsors and just how influential they are in bringing you today's ball game. It wouldn't be possible if not for these sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do this. I want to say thank you to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Corre Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing. All proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. When you talk about community-minded sponsors, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union's been part of this community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative, and they're delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Don't forget, those of you tuning in to our live stream both on Twitch, Facebook Live, and on YouTube. Remember, business opportunities, Heart of Ohio Sports, email Heart of Ohio Sports Who's Broadcasting at heartofohiosports.com. That'll go straight to Nate Mullins as, again, you have a lot of questions on newfound ground with Heart of Ohio Sports coverage, and you want us to come cover a certain type of event, certain sport, certain game, reach out to us.
That's absolutely right, Tommy, because we're not just a high school sports broadcasting unit. I mean, we broadcast any kind of sports. Tommy, you and I have done wrestling before.
Yeah, professional wrestling. I mean,
they got an event coming up this Saturday at the Strand.
I caught a glimpse of the Heidelberg lacrosse schedule, and I got my wheels turned. There's nothing that nothing's off limits. You're talking about a wealth of experience, both with Nate Mullins, myself, and Greg Kinn, over a decade of experience in local sports coverage, both in print and on air. So reach out.
That's HOOS broadcasting at gmail.com. Once again, if you're interested in advertising, or if you just want to, help support the broadcast of high school baseball. I mean, this is something unique. This is something that nobody in this area is doing. And we wanted to do it for a long time. So if you want to help support, reach out. Whack! Nice play by the second baseman from his knees. Gets up and throws out the runner. What a play by Ernsberger.
And Johnson, his last at bat, saw a deep bomb over to right field. Able to lead off with a double on that one.
Yeah, they look like they're a little further back this time. And that one's going to go right past the first baseman all the way to the right fielder. And Johnson's going to hold up with a single. But Johnson now 2 for 3 on the day.
And that's what you call one of them Easter grounders. I mean, it takes a long hop and a jump over that first base line and just able to get there, get to the bag.
Snyder on the mound. That one in the dirt. 1-0 the count. One down, man at first. Tie ball game, 3-3 here in the top of the 7th. Garrett Spawn at the plate. Snyder's pitch in there, inside, and Spawn swung right over top of it for a strike. 1-1 the count.
It's been a couple at bats where Spawn's been kind of desperate to make connection. He connects with it there. I think Cloud's going to get
turn two, but they're unable to make the play. Spawn beats out the double play, but they get the lead runner. And now 2 outs as Dylan Stevens strolls to the plate. Snyder, first pitch right in there for a strike.
You talk about that control by Snyder. Sometimes you feel he's a little loose, but man, on that one.
When he dials it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one just a little bit to the outside. 1-1 the count. 2 down. Runner at first. Tied at 3 here at the top of the 7th. Snyder throws it right by him as Stevens swings through.
Stevens got no choice.
Now 1-2 the count. Snyder comes set. And fires it in there.
Yep.
Strike 3 called. And that's the end of the top of the 7th. As Isaac Snyder limits it to just the 1 base runner.
Couple good hits by the Senecas to start off the 7th inning, but unable to get any runs in.
Just unable to capitalize.
This is a chance for Old Fort to really start getting them bats going again.
That's right.
Had Calvert in early trouble, 3-0 for the majority of the first couple innings. Calvert was able to get 1 early run, was falling behind by 2, but then there was a point there where they brought Snyder out of the bullpen to replace Miller. And Snyder, he was faced with 2 situations where he faced loaded bases, and on those occasions, that's when Calvert was able to get runners in and get those scores to knock this one back up, Nate.
And that's what you've seen here today. Calvert started out, they were down 3-0, but just the perseverance. They stayed with it, maintained good attitude, and here they are tied at 3. Stockaders coming up to bat here in this one. Up next, you've got Blake Bender, Carter Cleveland, and Ben Kupka. Actually, I think we're going to get a sub for Cleveland, as I think Simon Garza is getting some talking from the coaching staff. So we'll probably see a substitute for Kupka. I'm sorry, for Cleveland. Bender's coming up now.
Number 11, Blake Bender.
I think there's a ball laying over in the right field. I'm going to wait and see. You don't want somebody stepping on that. First pitch fouled away. As Bender, a left-hander. Paul's pitch up high. 1-1 the count. Paul fires that one in there for a strike. 1-2 the count.
Paul's really come into his own on the mound here just in these last couple of innings.
That one skips in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Blake Bender at the plate. 2-2 count. That one's inside. Full count. Max Paul, the 3-2. That one skips in the dirt, and Bender draws the leadoff walk. And he's going to go ahead and take second on the walk as the passed ball got past Hunter Yackel. And now you got a runner at second with nobody out. Time called as Matt Coleman's going to call the infield in. Once again, thanks to our sponsors for helping us bring today's broadcast to you. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Corre Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing. All proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Stick around for the postgame show, brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. We will bring you the player of the game, brought to you by MST Sauce Company.
Garza coming in for Cleveland.
Number 6, Simon Garza.
Now up to plate, Simon Garza for the Old Fort Stockaders. That first pitch is in there for a strike. Garza didn't believe it. Paul looks the runner back at second from the stretch. Nice bunt. Lays it down, and he sacrificed the runner over to third. That's exactly what you wanted there if you're Simon Garza. Just keep that ball in play. Keep it away from the third base side so they can't make that play. Sacrifice yourself to get the runner over. Now you got a runner at third, one out. And you got Kupka coming up to plate and Isaiah Perez to follow. Just one out. Ben Kupka at the plate. And Max Paul throws it right by him for the first pitch strike. Blake Bender at third. Kupka awaits the pitch. That one thrown in there, and they're going to catch the runner in a pickle. Oh, they throw the ball away.
Oh, my goodness.
And now the runner's on the ground. He
And the runner
falls.
falls.
They throw the ball. Oh, my. He's safe. That's the game.
Wow.
That's the ball game. What an ending to what was an exciting ball game. But that's a heck of a way to end it there. As the runner was caught in a pickle, they throw the ball away.
He fell.
And the runner falls on the base path, still able to get up and get to the plate. And they finish it off with a 4-3 victory. The Stockaders now 2-0 on the season. Tiffin Calvert falls to 0-3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with the postgame show brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Keep it tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, welcome back to the First National Bank of Sycamore postgame show. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call after a 4-3 victory by the Old Fort Stockaders here over the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. Pushes the Stockaders to 2-0 on the season. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall here for the First National Bank of Sycamore postgame show. Tommy, let's talk about this one. So 3-0 start for Old Fort. Got out to a big lead early, but the Senecas, I mean, they didn't go away. They stayed with it.
Yeah, Jackson Sizelove there late in the game, bases loaded, able to drive some runners in for the Senecas to knot this one up. But there, towards the end of the game, you had a scoreless sixth inning. Then here in the seventh, Old Fort able to get bats working. That sacrificial bunt by Simon Garza. I mean, to me, that was the play of the game. Got the guy on third, and then that little pickle situation there at the end on the error. That was the difference. That's why Old Fort was able to end this one and squeak out with the victory after downing Calvert bats early.
So the winning pitcher will be Isaac Snyder, as he was on the mound when they scored the winning run here. Well, top of the seventh, he was on the mound. Losing pitcher would be Max Paul. He went the distance today, Tommy. He gave him a good performance. I mean, that was a heck of a pitching performance from Max Paul. He settled in really towards the end of the game. But, this was just one of those games where at the end, when they got that runner to second base with nobody out, I kind of thought, they're going to have to pitch perfect from here on out. And Paul was already, into his seventh inning of work. It's hard to kind of reach into those reserves, pull, and try to, get those last couple of outs. That's one of the hardest things in baseball. You're working on 7 innings of work, and you just got to get those last couple outs. It's hard. It's a lot harder than what it looks, folks. So I know we all played Little League Baseball at one time. We're all probably sitting here thinking, hey, whatever. But that's that's one of the hardest things in sports, is to try to come in here when you're gassed and try to get those last 3 outs. Tommy, let's talk about player of the game, brought to you by Madison Street Tavern, MST Sauce Company. First of all, I just got to talk to you a minute so we can figure this out, but I think we can do that on the air. I mean, there's no reason to step aside for that. We can talk about this. What do you think, Tommy? I mean, as this game went on, as it progressed, there's a few different heroes that you could give this to, but if I had to put my money on anybody here today, well, let's hear what you got to say, Tommy. I don't want to influence your decision at all.
I mean, again, we talk about Max Paul's performance throughout the 7 innings, but being on the losing end kind of negates what exactly you do when you're supposed to perform and close out a win. So in my honest opinion, it was late in the game, right there in the 7th inning. You needed a run. I think when you had Garza come in for Cleveland, you needed a hit. You needed something to get you on base or get one of your guys to third. And I really think that was the difference maker. That was the play of the game, because you only had 1 out at that point off of that sacrifice, and then it allowed you to be able to open up and figure out what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
As for the Stockaders, because again, you make that sacrifice, you got the guy at third, you still got 2 outs. It's in your hands at that point.
Yeah, so Simon Garza would be your pick. I got a couple guys, man. I mean, I really liked the game Nick Palm played today for Tiffin Calvert. I know they were on the losing end, but, man, you could not get a ball past him at shortstop today. Another guy that really impressed me, Connor Ernsberger. Just the way he displayed a lot out here today as far as, his defensive acumen at the plate. And you hear him over here talking with his teammates. He's chirping. He's, that's the kind of teammate you want. I mean, if I had to vote for anybody, Tommy, I think that's probably my guy. Ernsberger he really stood out to me.
He was instrumental in every facet of the game here tonight. So I'll go with your pick there.
So there you have it. Connor Ernsberger, our MST Sauce Company player of the game. We'll catch up with him after the game. But, Tommy, any final thoughts here before we wrap this up? And
again, thanks for joining us here for our inaugural coverage of high school baseball as we made the trek over here to Old Fort, Ohio, right in the sticks, to bring you this high school baseball game on a nice 53-degree day. But, hey, any day that it's not raining is a beautiful day for baseball.
That's right. That's absolutely right. You know, we've called hundreds of basketball and football games, but this is the first baseball game, and we're happy to have you here with us. Thank you all for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks once again to all of our sponsors. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Ex-Carre Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., and Bookmeyer Printing. Once again, all proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's going to do it for Tommy Hall and Greg Kinn. I'm Nate Mullins signing off from Old Fort Field. Once again, your final score, Old Fort 4, Tiffin Calvert 3. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.